up, everyone? James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the brand new Japanese craze, which is going to be hitting the US this week. I'm going to be hitting Europe middle of October. And I'm going to try and pronounce this Ufufy or Ufufa. I don't quite know how to pronounce this just yet. Basically, it's UFULC. It looks like fluffy because it's like a fluffy cloud. I honestly don't know. I think the first initial reaction was, they look like tall Zumzums.
I thought they looked like fat Zumzums, really, but, either way, there's definitely a Zumzum feel to these.
So, the actual soft toys come in a couple of different sizes. So you're going to have, 2.5-inch, mini ones. They come in a set of 2 for about $10. They do a small one for about $7. There's a medium-sized one for, I think there's about 12 inches, which I believe was about $16. In Japan, there are large ones as well. They haven't quite made it onto the Disney Store website. There's different characters. You've got all the classic ones in here: Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Daisy, Donald. You've also got Winnie the Pooh to get Eeyore, which is very, very much like the initial first phase of Zum Zum. But yeah, look how cool they look Japanese. I think it's odd that these aren't launching with an app. There's no story. I don't know if that's planned as a next stage or if it's just, are they trying to replicate it? I don't know. It's a bit of an odd one.
I suspect they're probably waiting to see how this will do when the American and the European market put an app out there, because they didn't put a Zoom Zoom app out for a while either, as far as I remember. I mean, I think
Japan, they had the.
they might have had it in Japan.
They might have had the app first, but it's a bit of an odd one because on one hand, I think Disney actually do need a little bit of a new collectible. Everything seems a little bit stale. They haven't really been taking a lot of sort of exciting, doing.
You don't really hear about the Zumzums that much anymore. No one is like, oh, I got to get there on whatever Thursday, first and third Thursday to get down to the Disney store and get the new ones. But
that was the thing. It was Zum Zum Tuesday. They then started doing,
Tuesday. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was once a month, and then they started doing 2 a month. And they did that for a while, and that sort of stopped, and now it's kind of a bit erratic. I personally feel like they were throwing out way too much, way too quick, and collectors were getting overwhelmed. They did the same thing to Funimation. So I wonder if this, Ufufy is right, okay, we need to reboost a bit. I mean, this has been out in Japan for well over a year, these collectibles.
I think it's probably an attempt to restart again. I think, Disney understands fairly well that collectibles only have a limited shelf life, even if you keep putting them out, and that's probably why they oversaturate the market with the Vinylmations, the Zumzums, and all these things. I do have to say I like the way these look better than the Zumzums do. They're more expressive. There's more personality to them, whereas the Zumzums were more like pills with faces on them. Especially the back half, once you got past the face section, they were all pretty much the same, except maybe like a cape or something.
It's going to be interesting how these work, whether or not they're just going to be fluffy. The thing is as well with the Zum Zum, is they went down all the vinyl lines and they made other things, and they literally, if they could put a Zum Zum on it, they did it. So I don't think it's a bad idea for them to kind of come up with a new concept. And also, let's be honest, they have got so many characters, they could churn out one character a month for the next 4 or 5 years and keep going. I do wonder whether or not the Star Wars and the Marvel ones that they did for Zum Zum didn't seem to work, because I saw loads of them being discounted. When I go down to my local Clinton's, there's full of Marvel ones in there. I don't know if it's the wrong audience that it wasn't working for, or there wasn't enough characters, but you could see these Ufufy or Ufis, that was a bit French, could end up coming down the line. I feel like, looking at the Japanese thing, there's been a lot of special editions, but they haven't seemed to have been going down loads and loads of different designs.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of the fan sites for Ufufy right now, or Ufufy, or let's just call it Ufluffy, even though there's no L in there. Yeah. And there's a lot of different designs that have come out in Japan already. They've got Timothy Mouse from Dumbo hanging out with Bambi and Thumper and guys like that. So there's really a large range of them. And like you said, they could do... Heck, they don't even need to do a single character. They could say, we're going to pick all the classic movies, and we're going to pick all the classic characters, and they'd still have material for years.
Yeah.
And that's even not being like, okay, now we're going to put out a Valentine's Mickey, now we're going to put out a Christmas Goofy or whatever.
Yeah. I think the trouble is, in like one way, is if they try to go straight down the Zoom Zoom front, it might just, will it gain it? And also you're going to have new kids coming up underneath that will be like, oh, I don't like Zoom Zooms, they're too overcrowded. Oh, I like these, there's a little bit less of them. There's something new, something exciting. However, I don't know, bit of an odd. I think not having the app, not having any kind of content. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw something coming out later. But the fact that I don't think they've done anything in Japan would normally indicate to me that they've tried something out. Because Zoom Zoom isn't going anywhere. They've got a brand new game launching in Japan soon, Zoom Zoom Land.
Which does look good.
Yeah. I kind of, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these Ufufys. They also got a little bit swept under the carpet. I mean, we're going to be talking about that in another episode this week, about the Disney Store sort of changeover. Unfortunately, I feel like this kind of launching these on the same day was a little bit like they got lost in this. This is, I mean, you barely can find them on the website. I think I only found it by mistake. It really did kind of, I mean, in the UK, they're coming out in a couple of weeks' time, but I did kind of feel like this was almost at the wrong time to launch it.
Yeah, and Disney, as we've seen in the past, doesn't necessarily care quite as much about, making sure that stuff launches at an appropriate time. They just say it's ready, throw it out there right now. We see this more on the video game side. We talked about this with, say, the Beauty and the Beast mobile game coming out months after the movie had come out when anybody would be interested in it. I think Disney's strategy at the moment tends to be, let's throw this out there. If it catches on, then we'll build on it. And if it doesn't catch on, then we'll just pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
And that's games, movies, park attractions, everything. Because you look at some of the movies from the last couple of years, even though they did extremely well in the box office, stuff like Big Hero 6, Zootopia, whatnot, there was no tie-in stuff with them at all. They were just, and then stuff started to come out after it became apparent that people like, oh yeah, we really like Big Hero 6 and Baymax and whatnot.
Yeah, I do wonder with this. I don't know whether or not some fans might be like, oh, too close to Zoom Zoom, but then if they can just claim 10, 15, 20, 30% of the Zoom Zoom market and get it back, I do feel with the Zoom Zoom market, I think they went way too big, way too fast. I mean, and also the big difference between the Disney Store and the, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm watching this one quite closely. I'm going to be keeping up with all the latest releases and obviously reporting on DisKingdom. But I'm really interested to see, because I love there to be some, but there again, it's not, I wouldn't say it was a new and exciting product.
No, it's not a super exciting new product, especially when you put it next to products they already have. Yeah. That said, I think I'm probably going to pop down to the Disney Store or whatever they're rebranding it, just to maybe pick up one or two, just to kind of get a feel for them. But I'm definitely not. I'm not going all in. I'm not going to. No. I mean, I wasn't a collector for the Zoom Zooms either, but I'm not going to be a collector for these. But if one catches my eye, like if they've got a Chip and Dale or something like that, sure, why not? Stick them on my shelf right back here. Yes.
On that note, guys, what do you guys think of Ufufy or Ufufy, whatever way until we get the official
Le Fluffy.
Le Fluffy. Love to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Love to know your thoughts. James, where can they find you?
You can find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Laters.
Later.